surreal it was for me as a person who went to elementary school for 6 years. That I don't think I went to pre-K. I think I started kindergarten.
Started kindergarten?
Yes,
a lot of people do that.
I went to kindergarten in California.
Okay.
That's where I first went to kindergarten.
What was the school called? Do you remember?
Fuck if I remember.
Oh, okay.
I do remember this, though. Okay. To get to my kindergarten, we walked, because that's what we did. Like, my mother did not...
there's a lot of schools do that.
My mother didn't own a car in California, and that was at the time where you don't own a car in California.
Sure.
Same like New York City. But...
Was it like a real urban area?
Yeah, It was real urban. Like, you literally walked. We walked to the grocery store and carried the groceries back. Occasionally my mother would borrow a car from like a friend or something like that, but that's generally what we did. And I walked to school every single day. My mother would walk me to school. And the weirdest thing, my memory's a little fuzzy because I was real young, but I do remember walking down this very, very like steep trail. That like this dirt road trail that was like you almost had to climb down this hill to get to my school.
It's kind of gnarly.
Yeah, it was really weird, and like we didn't live that far from it. But I went to kindergarten there, came to Pennsylvania, 1st grade through 6th grade, went to Mercer Elementary School.
Okay. All
right. Went from going to a public school that had a lot of students. Like my class was like 25 large, 30 large, something like that.
And there was probably a couple classes.
Yeah. You'd have grades where there was like a few. Like I always used to be like, okay, this year, am I going to get a class of my friends? No, I didn't get it. So I just have to see them at recess and lunch. Yeah. But so talking about that, 7th grade moved out to the Shenango Valley. And at the time, we were living with my grandmother who lived in Sharon. My mother didn't want to send me to Sharon High School because ruffians. And she didn't want to send me to Farrell, obviously. So instead, she sent me to MGM Fatima, Monsignor Gino Monti.
I'm familiar.
Yes. And it was the most surreal experience going to this private school where literally the class size, there was one class per grade, and the class size whenever I went there at 7th grade was about 15.
And that's on the large side.
That was on the large side because in 8th grade, the class is like 10.
Yeah.
Like 9 or 10. Like literally. It was something weird like that. But it was for somebody who'd never participated in religious activity in any shape or form to go to a private school. Like, I was an altar boy.
Oh, you were an altar boy?
Occasionally I would be picked to be an altar boy because it was just...
Were you ever diddled by a priest?
I was never diddled by a
Great news.
priest. Here's the thing. This is the weirdest thing. And you're a religious man. You tell me this. One time I was an altar boy for a big, like, mass thing. It was like in the gym. Okay. And it was like the...
Like an all-school mass.
Yeah. What is the dude that's not a priest but starts with a D? Deacon. Thank you. I just thought of it. Deacon. Yeah. The deacon came to help the father with the mass. Right. And I was one of the dudes. Like, I would hold... What is the little the gold plate?
Oh, the plate.
The plate whenever somebody gets communion.
Yeah, the communion.
And then you hold it under their mouth to, like, catch their sins or some bullshit like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know if it has a name, but I do know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the only time I received communion. And the only reason why I did it was because the deacon turned to me, didn't know me, obviously, because he, like, wasn't regularly there. He turned to me, and when it was the beginning of communion, he, like, basically put the cookie, like, the cracker... towards me and like practically like had it on my lips, and I was like, I guess I'm doing this. And then afterwards, like, my fellow students were like, I didn't know you're religious. I didn't know you're like Catholic, Christian, or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, dude, just like put it to me. I was like, fucking when in Rome, I guess. Do it. And they're like, you're going to hell, dude. Like, you're absolutely going to hell because you're not like baptized, and you can't do that, dude. And I was like, is that like a thing? Like, if you receive communion and you haven't gone through the process and not baptized, like, you're like to burn in the fiery pit of torment?
Some people, the more traditional, old-fashioned Catholics, yes, they do believe that, yes. They believe stuff like, if you're a divorced person, you can't take communion. Like, if you got divorced.
Like, that's so fucking weird.
I think that's... Now, from what I understand, the newest Pope Francis, I think he changed that. I think he allows... divorced people.
Dude, he's into gay people. Like, he's all about the gays.
He's like progressive Pope. Like, I love it. I love him. He's great. But anyway, I think I want to say that he changed that, And there was a lot of like traditional Catholics that were all up in arms about that, a little busy.
Well, yeah.
Similar
There's
story.
always going to be them.
Similar story, and I have one question for you after this. But I'm Roman Catholic, so when we go to Mass, I do accept communion. My wife, Kristen, she's not. She's Christian, but she's not Catholic. And she hates it, like when she has to, like, it's time to everybody stand up and make your way to the aisles and go up and
like, motherfucker, I'm
she's-
here, aren't I?
She's got to fucking sit there by herself and not do anything. So they do something. It's pretty cool at my church, at my parish, where if you have a young child who's too young to take communion, if you carry them up with you, the priest or deacon or whoever is the Eucharistic minister, whoever's offering communion, they'll just bless the child, like do a little cross on their forehead. It's a really cool thing. So Kristen was like, we have two kids, so I had one, she had the other. She's like, I'm gonna go up because I want the priest to bless. I think she was called old Nina. I'm like, okay, so we go up, and as she gets there, he did what you said. He just like threw the fucking cookie right up in her mouth, and she was like, oh, nom, nom, nom.
That's some nasty fucking crackers, by the way.
They're gross as fuck. Tastes like cardboard. But
yeah.
Anyway, so she took it. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, he just put it in there. Like, but so
she's gonna burn in hell now.
So
what are
you
you
guys
do?
can hang out there, I guess. But my question for you is, you actually were an altar server.
Yeah, it was.
How did they, like, when I went to school, there was more kids. I went to Notre Dame school, which was also a private Catholic elementary school, just like you did at MGM. We had a few more kids, but there was probably a handful, half a dozen kids in my class that weren't Catholic. And I remember it was like second or third grade. Might have been a little bit older. I don't even remember what grade it was. When they first come to you and says, who would like to learn how to be an altar server and serve? And like people raised their hands. And they said to us, you have to be Catholic to do it. So my one friend, Josh, who I went to school with, Josh wasn't Catholic. And he kind of wanted to. But he was like, oh, I can't do it. So you weren't Catholic, but they let you do it.
I was an atheist. I was an atheist at the time. I was hardcore atheist. I was like, fuck this shit. This shit isn't real. This is all a bunch of nonsense.
Are you atheist now?
I'm an agnostic. I believe there's something out there. I'm open-minded. If anything, I'd like to start my own religion where I just, buffet myself with all different kinds of other religions, pick all the good stuff I like that I think is right, and put it in that religion. So
I've been called a cafeteria Christian myself because I like to pick and choose.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's greatest. But what happened was, and I don't remember the entire series of events because I have a horrible memory, terrible memory. But I do remember it was pretty well known that I was not religious. I was not a religious person. But because the classes were they only let, I think it was like maybe 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Okay. And then like the 6th graders, maybe 5th graders, but like they were like training, kind of like, being taught how to do it and stuff like that.
You mentioned I might have been 5th or 6th grade when this went down.
But it was mainly like 7th and 8th grade who were the main altar boys for the most part. And the class...
Altar service, they let girls do it too.
Well, now, but not then.
They didn't when you were there?
No, they didn't. It was all boys, never girls. They never let girls do it.
Not when and I'm older than you.
Yeah.
My parish must have been a little bit more progressive than Fatima. I think you guys were more traditional, conservative. Yeah.
The priest,
Father
Burtis, yeah, he was always in charge of it, and he didn't want girls in there. He wanted little boys. So, but it was always boys. It was always males. And the amount of males that were in the class were so small.
Right.
Because it was like me and like 4 other people.
So there's 5 of you total.
Yeah, basically.
You kind of had
There's
to
like
do
5 or 6 of us in the 7th grade that were at the time. And then next year, and then like in the 8th grade class, there were literally only 2 boys. Like 2, maybe 3 boys in the class.
And one other boy?
No. I mean, like, not when I went to 8th grade, but the time when I went to 7th grade, in the 8th grade class of that year,
I see.
There was maybe only like 2 or 3 boys. So there weren't a lot of pickings. So like
slim pickings, Father Burtis.
And it was like we had mass every Monday. I don't know how often you guys had mass where you went, but we had mass.
We didn't.
We had mass every Monday, and all the older classes had to go to mass. Like it was like I think they had like separate mass. I think it was like maybe like 6th, 7th, 8th graders had mass this time. Maybe like 5th. I can't remember how they did it, but it was mass like every Mondays. And when they had like they had mass, they always picked, altar servers to do it. So they'd be like, oh, so-and-so, do you want to do altar service? Blah, blah. I think if I would have said it's against my beliefs to do altar service, they would have never asked me to do it. But I never said that because I didn't give a shit. It got me out of class. I was like, fuck it, I'll go have some fun and do some bullshit. Yeah, bullshit. So I'd go there and I'd throw on the little fucking robe thing or whatever, light the candles, help get everything set up and all this other shit. And it'd be me and one other person and we'd be there to help. And first of all, I kind of liked it. Kind of enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because here's the thing.
Fine.
I didn't want to sit in the pews. And it made me feel important. I was like, I'm up here, I'm on stage, I'm doing something so people can see me.
You like being the center of attention.
I even did altar service a couple times for another church. Not volunteering, but it's MGM would have their affiliated church or whatever.
St. Albert's?
I can't remember what the name was. It might have been that. But they would be like, hey, there's a big service happening. They want some couple volunteer altar boys. And they'd be like, do you want to do it? And I'd be like, fuck it, let's go. And they drive me down there, go down to the church and shit like that, get everything set up there and all that stuff. It was a bigger state, obvious, a bigger stadium, bigger stage. It's like, yeah, I'm on point.
You got called up to the show. That's
yeah.
It's like a minor league baseball player getting called up to the big leagues.
We had it. I can't remember if it was once a month or once a week. We had Holy Thursday, I think was what it was called.
Yeah, Holy
And
Thursday.
it was the big mass. It was when all the classes got into the chapel, the tiny fucking chapel at Fatima, and it was I can't. Isn't it in religion, this particular religion, Catholicism, Christianity, whatever, where is it one time a year where it's Stations of the Cross, Stations of the Cross.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. That was a thing.
Yeah,
I remember.
Still a thing.
It was still a thing. That was the thing I remember, and I altered for that, I think, a couple times, but that's a big pain in the ass.
That's a big deal.
That's a big fucking pain in the ass.
You were high up on the roster, though.
It's not hard to be high up on the roster when you've got 3 other people in competition. So, but no, I actually enjoyed being an altar boy because it was just something different. It was something different that I wasn't used to in school. I was more interested in what's the process of this? It's like how I am with all religions. What's the process for this? What's how does this work and this, that, and the other thing. It was more interesting for me. It didn't convert me, but it was interesting.
They tried.
They tried.
So when I had the opportunity, I remember when it was our religious ed teacher. She came in, and I have to say, and it was open to boys and girls. You were called an altar server, not an altar boy. So girls went too. And I'd have to say 90% of the class went and did it. And here I am. I'm actually Catholic. I'm actually a boy. I would have checked every box, even at your church. And I was like, well, fucking no. I'm not doing it. And here's my reason why. For you, you're talking about doing it during school, you get out of class.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that. What I'm not cool with is doing an 8 a.m. mass on Sunday.
Oh, fuck no.
They had us do that. They had us do that.
No, I would have never done that.
Who did your church's masses on Sunday?
I don't know, because I was never there, so I don't know.
Your church...
You're saying church.
Church.
You're saying church.
So, you're talking about going to a chapel in school. My school, we did not have a chapel, because our school was parking lot in the middle, church on the other side of the parking lot. So when we did our school masses, we walked across the parking lot into the Notre Dame church.
Yeah.
So I know where Fatima Church is and MGM School is. They're not really that close to each other.
If you were to walk in the main doors of MGM, well, there's kind of 2 main doors, but the main doors of MGM that's not in front of the gym, when you walk in, it's like a little lobby area, Jesus on the cross.
Of course.
And
White Jesus. Blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus.
Praise white Jesus. But no, white Jesus right there on the cross and a chapel right there. And that's where we had service. And that's where, we would go to do our spiel, as you would call it. And it wasn't very big. It was pretty small. That's the reason why, I think that was probably the biggest reason why they didn't have a lot of the younger grades going for Monday Mass and stuff like that. Not only for that, but also because, you don't want little kids in there fucking around in church and everything like that with one teacher per grade. Yeah, fucking little kids. But, I don't know how it was. You said you went to Notre Dame, right?
I did. Notre Dame Elementary School.
I don't know how it was at Notre Dame, but at Fatima, it was real fucking chill most of the time. Because, the teachers, most teachers, 8th grade teacher, not going to name any names,
Make it up.
I'm gonna go with Mr. Skirville.
Skirville. Okay. Mr.
Skirville.
Okay, it's a gentleman. I had zero male teachers.
Really?
Until I left and went to public school in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No male teachers in my elementary.
I had... okay.
Or junior high, for that matter. Yeah.
I'm going to say this also, before I go back to that story. First experience I ever had where you had classes that were in other classrooms. Like, we would go to other classes. Like, when we had, like, religious class in 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
we would go to I think it was Sister Margaret at the time.
Sister Margaret. Yeah, she's still teaching.
Go to Sister... Is she still alive?
She's teaching at Kennedy.
Really?
Yeah.
She was old as...
She teaches math.
Sister Margaret, I like you. You were old as dirt when I went to school. So, and that was like 15 years ago.
My grandmother.
It was more than 15 years ago.
My grandmother had her in school.
We're not thinking of the same person.
No, she's like 100.
We're not thinking of the same person, though. We're not thinking of the same person. I had Sister Margaret at Kennedy. I love Sister Margaret. I'm thinking of somebody else.
You're thinking of a different...
I'm thinking of a nun. Okay. Like a legit nun.
Sister Margaret's a nun, too.
Habit-wearing nun every day of her life. Sister Margaret doesn't wear nuns. I love Sister Margaret.
Okay. All right.
I love Sister Margaret. I'm not thinking of the same person.
I'm sure there's more than one Sister Margaret out there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the one I'm thinking of, first of all, top math, fucking great. Loved her. Loved her to death.
Yeah.
Amazing. But
she's like 90 or 100. She's old.
I think I'm thinking of Sister Judith.
Sister Judith. I don't know.
I think her name is Judith. Either way, Sister Judith, whatever. Sister, nun. Habit-wearing nun, full hardcore. Taught out of this old... We had these old, just ratty pages falling out textbooks that were like, looked like they were like 60, 70,
like
80
the
years old.
Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, basically. And it was such an antiquated textbook that we learned out of when I was learning religion. But we had to go to her class. And her class was the homeroom for 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And that was the weirdest thing for me, too, when I first went there. Because I was like, we're not in high school. Why are we switching classes? Oh, and we're going to go over to Skirville to learn English. And we're going to go over here to learn math and shit. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it was like a surreal experience. But anyway, what I was saying before was, there was a bit more of a relaxed environment when I went to MGM. Like, 8th grade, Skirville, like, he treated us like we were adults, which is really cool. Like, he didn't see us, like, we were kids, but he didn't see us as kids. He's like, you guys talk a lot of shit. Like, he didn't cuss in front of us, but he was basically treating us like, look, you guys are more adult than a lot of teachers give you credit for. Like, we would hang out, there were times where we would hang out in the principal's office. Like, we knew, like, in 8th grade, like, the principal was very active.
For those of you listening who aren't understanding, it was the same way for me, because when you're in a small, private Catholic school like this, the highest grade it goes was 8th grade.
Yeah.
So when you were 8th graders in that school, it was like being a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Like, your shit didn't stink. You were the fucking kings of the hallway. You fucking weren't, really, but you thought you were.
I remember one time there was a storage room right off to the principal's room where you can get into it two ways, from the hallway or from the principal's office. And there was one time I took a nap in there all day. Not because I wasn't feeling too well. So, like, she was like, why don't you just go in there and sleep? And Skirville was like, yeah, just go rest. Go take a nap. I was like, all right, let's do it. And I went in there sick as
I can get an A on this.
Sick as a dog, laid on, like, it was one of those, doctor's office couches that they weren't like cloth cushions. They were like, what's the material? Like, not rubber, but like...
Kind of like a faux leather?
Faux leather, yeah, like faux leather. It was like that. And I curled up on there and I slept there for like 2 hours. And I was like, all right, we're good. Like we knew, like, the principal knew us by name. We knew the principal by name. And we would, like, go there and hang out and shit. It was cool.
It's cool. See, I have similar stories like that about my school. At the time, especially in the older grades, in the middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, when you're that age, that's a tough age.
Oh yeah,
that's a tough age for kids. You don't know if you're fish or fowl at that point.
I was pretty foul.
Okay, foul.
I knew what I was.
You knew what you were.
I was a little foul.
See, I had no fucking clue. I was all over the place. See, I hated wearing a uniform.
Don't talk about uniforms because you didn't go to Fatima. Because Fatima... Okay, explain your uniform.
Dude,
we'll explain our uniforms.
Your uniforms had to have been better than my uniform.
Explain your uniforms real quick. paint a picture.
So there was different versions of it, but the typically what I wore. Imagine a polo shirt, just your average everyday collared polo shirt with 3-4 buttons up at the top, and it's got a script in cursive writing in green says Notre Dame on the breast. It is the color of urine yellow. I'm talking about like if you're a little bit dehydrated and you take a piss in the toilet, you know the color of the water mixed with your piss?
Yeah.
That's the color of the shirts. Fucking hideous. Thick, heavy, uncomfortable, horrible. And we wore like slacks, like Dockers, but they had to be navy fucking blue. And you had to wear dress shoes. It's typically like brown Doc Martens or whatever fucking Airwalks from Payless that were brown, and like that's what you wore every single day. Every single day. That's what you wore.
I get your beat.
Let me hear
okay,
it.
so here's the thing.
Urine yellow.
Urine yellow.
Disgustingly hideous. Your colors at MGM were actually cool colors.
But I got you beat. Here's why.
Okay.
Because at MGM, when we went there, you had to wear dress shoes, obviously. Dress shoes.
Dress shoes, okay, got it.
You had to wear dress pants. Dark dress pants. Either dark, very, very dark blue or black dress pants.
Same
like
as
we're talking like go to your grandma's funeral, like dress pants.
Yeah, that's the same as us.
Yeah.
Same as us.
We had to wear a blue button-up shirt. Either navy blue or like cyan or light blue, typically a light blue. Button up always had to be tucked in.
Yes, our shirts always had to be tucked in.
And we had to wear a tie. Had to wear a tie.
Had to wear a tie. We did not have to wear
As
ties.
a guy, we had to wear a tie. The women, the girls were worse than us because they had specific uniforms they had to purchase from the school that were like
jumpers,
borderline schoolgirl outfits.
Yeah, jumpers. That
were like
or skirts with jumpers.
They had vests. They had skirts. They always had to wear like obviously skirts had to be long, but they always had to wear knee-high socks. They could not show any skin. No skin at all. There was one time I forgot my tie at home, and I knew I had like a spare tie in my backpack, but the spare tie was skinny. It was a
skinny tie.
It was a 10-year-old's tie.
You're a skinny tie type. I knew it.
It wasn't skinny because it was a skinny tie. It was skinny because it was a 10-year-old's tie. Because when I put it on, the tie went about to like middle of my chest. It did not go lower than the middle of my chest.
like Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah. And I remember there was this one kid that was there that forgot his tie, and he forgot his tie, and one of the teachers was like getting on his case, like, you forget your tie all the time, you don't wear your tie, blah 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 blah. And the dude pointed at me. I was like, what about him? Look at his tie. He's like, at least he has a fucking tie. He's like, at least he's like. I did that once, and I was like, I'm never forgetting my tie again. But like, we had to wear like at least you had polos where like it was kind of casual to a certain extent.
They were awful though.
They were awful, but like it was kind of casual. Thick and woolly. But at MGM you were dressed up 100% of the time, and there were casual Friday days that would have, but you had to pay for casual Friday.
Yeah, jeans days.
Yeah, it
was like 50 cents or $1.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that.
Yeah,
you know what I did? I didn't fucking pay. I came in my fucking dress-up gear because I was like, I likes my money.
Wow. See,
I paid a couple times.
That was fucking social suicide. There was one time, and my mother was a teacher there too, but there was one fucking time that we had a jeans day, and I forgot. So I put the whole uniform on, showed up, everybody's in jeans. I called, my mom was not even there that day, thank God. She had like come later. I call her, I'm like, you gotta bring me clothes. Because there was kids who would forget, the idiots. And if you had your uniform on when everybody else was in their fly threads, they were in their fucking...
Stay fly.
Dude, when you were able to like express your artistic, like, you were able to express yourself with like what clothes you wear that isn't all uniform, man, I had style, man. I had style. And I gotta say one thing. The tie does suck. I'll give you that. But when I was in 8th grade, I actually dated a girl who was in 7th grade at your school at MGM.
Really?
Yes. I'd seen the uniform. I mean, granted, we were in fucking middle school, but she looked
On
damn
the-
cute
on
in
the-
it.
on
I
the
thought
right-
she looked cute in it.
On the right girl.
Not like Britney Spears cute, but cute enough.
I mean, if you think the Britney Spears uniform, you're not that far off.
I know.
So, look.
I mean, the right kind of girl in the
On the
right
right
kind of atmosphere. No pedo here. No pedo.
pedo. You were at the age. You
I
can
was.
say it.
I'm
You can say
reminiscing.
it.
I'm
You can say it.
reminiscing. This girl's my age now. Yeah. I think.
There was one girl I remember who 1 year older than me. I was in 7th grade. She was in 8th grade, and I remember she was. I didn't say any names. She was a principal's daughter, and she went there. Let me tell you, she was like the biggest crush that like most of the guys had, because at the time, once again, no pedo, as you say, like she looked really good. Like and to this day, I obviously haven't seen her in years, and I never like knew her or hung out with her, but like you see pictures and stuff like that on social media. She's still yeah. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Did you play any sports when you went to Notre Dame?
I did. I played soccer because we had a soccer team. I played every year. I started in kindergarten, or I guess first grade is when it starts. First grade through 8th grade. And you know what? I was pretty damn good, lad. Pretty damn good.
Really?
Yes, but our team was legit. But fucking St. Mike's from Greenville,
Yeah.
fuck those green assholes. They were real good. And we always lost to them. But I played soccer. There's a whole other story. I can get into that. I played volley. We had a volleyball team. I played volleyball.
Forgot MGM had a volleyball team for a brief period.
Yeah, we played
too.
you guys.
Yeah.
We played you guys. Volleyball. And I played 1 year of basketball. But I played in 8th grade only because all my friends played. Dude, I sucked at basketball. Like, I was just too rough. Like, you're not allowed to touch anybody in basketball.
Yeah.
You know? I'd fucking tackle the dude. Like, I was not good at basketball. But I was good at volleyball, and I was good at soccer. Those were the three. And, like, we had, what other sports did we even have? Like, we had cheerleading, but
Yeah.
that was, the girls did that. We had music. I was in the musicals. We had musicals
Really?
in school. Yeah. And they were on point. They were on point.
See, Fatima didn't have. I don't think it had like a musical.
You wouldn't have
program.
enough kids.
Like we wouldn't have a. There was one time, they had one music program which was very 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 small, which was it was basically learning to play the guitar.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
There was only 3 people in.
Did you do it?
I did it.
Yeah.
There was only 3 people involved in it. I was one of them because I had begged my mother for a guitar. I had begged my mother for a guitar.
You look like you'd play guitar. You
Here's
look
the
like
thing.
a guitar
Here's the thing.
type.
I don't know how to play the guitar.
No, you don't. But
Let me tell you that. I begged my mother for a guitar, and then I got the guitar, and it was fun, and then I realized how fucking hard it was. And then I was like, I'm just gonna strum. And then they started this music program where it's like they had an instructor that would come and teach guitar, and I was like, I got a fucking guitar. I'll do it. I'll do it. And I went there, and I went for like 3 times, and then after I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Because it was work, and at the time, I was a lazy. Here's the thing, I'm willing to admit this. I was a lazy shit, and I didn't want to do any work. I just wanted to have. I just wanted to have the experience. Here's the thing, I still have the same fucking guitar.
so learn it.
Time, dude. I have every intention of learning it.
Throw your hat over the wall and learn it.
I have practice with it, and I have learned to play some chords, and I've learned to play some minor things with it before. But like I've not had the time to like.
Is it acoustic?
No, it's electric.
Oh,
fucking.
okay.
I was like, I had dreams.
You had dreams of being a rock star.
I did. Here's like I had an old friend who had a band.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't have many friends in Mercer, but I had a couple, and I stayed in touch with like 1 or 2 of them. And there was one of them that had a band, and I was like, dude, I'll get a guitar and I'll learn how to play, and I'll be in your fucking band. And I was like, yeah, sick. I'll be the next fucking like Linkin Park dude or whatever. And
it's great that you're like, I'll be the dude from. I'll be the Guns N' Roses dude. I don't know his name.
That's basically what it was. And I was like, and then I picked it up and I was like playing. I was like, this is really fucking hard. And this is boring. It's boring to learn an instrument. Here's why it's boring to learn an instrument, because they want you to learn the basics. And I understand the basics are important, that you want to learn the chords and all that other shit. It's fucking boring to do that shit. And I couldn't do it.
It set the scene here, okay? Years ago, you're away at college in Erie, Pennsylvania, and you're at a house party. You're standing in the corner of the room.
I took my guitar up there for a semester.
Yeah, okay. You're enjoying a drink. You got a hat on, glasses. You're wearing your pea coat. Okay, you're standing in the corner. You're that mysterious guy.
Side story. I did wear a hat briefly during my time at Edinburgh when I was hanging out with a friend of ours, Brad. He would kill me if I said this, but he was kind of a hipster. But he was like the original hipster. So
he was on the cutting edge of hipsterism.
So it was cool for him. And he and his buddies would wear these things called dude bro hats, where they would just
what are they called?
Dude bro hats.
Dude bro hats.
And what they would do is they would just get hats, and underneath like the what do you call it? The lid,
the brim,
the brim. They would write in marker dude bro, and that was their thing. Bro. And I had a purple one of those.
You had a dude bro hat.
Yeah, I did have a dude bro hat.
Okay, so you're wearing your dude bro hat, pea coat, standing in the corner, sipping on a drink.
Gin and juice.
Some okay looking girls. What do? You walk out to your car, you get your guitar, you come in, you sit down in a room there's people around. People start looking over at you and you go, "'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me." Because you have to learn Wonderwall.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the first song anybody ever has to learn on a guitar.
I think I learned the beginning of Wonderwall.
So
I think I used to know the beginning of it.
Like it's not a question if you know Wonderwall. It's like, when did you learn Wonderwall? Everybody you have a guitar, you know how to play Wonderwall. That goes without saying. You play Wonderwall, you'd have been neck deep in pussy. Yes, that's all you need. A guitar at a house party. You've seen it happen.
I brought my guitar up there because I was living with a mutual person we know, a mutual friend of ours, Josh Watkins. I'm gonna name drop him because he's a big person on social media for
I love
us.
him. I love the guy.
Great guy. I lived with him.
He listens to the show, so
I lived with him my first semester, and he is an avid guitar player. Like, he knows how to play the guitar. And he had his guitar up there, and I was like, and this is the time whenever I was like going home every weekend because I had to work. So I was like, one weekend I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take my guitar up there. Fuck it. I took my guitar and my amp up there, and I was like, dude, I brought my guitar and amp. Let's fucking play. Like, teach me how to play. And he's like, no. He wasn't like no though. But he was like, all right, here's the websites I go to. Like, you like learn like chords and shit like that of like songs you like on websites. So I was learning like Coheed and Cambria like shit and everything like that, like the beginning of that shit. But yeah. But when they had this program in MGM, and I remember the last time I stopped was the instructor gave us like a thing where it's like, why don't you guys take what you've learned here in the past 2 classes and like write your own song. And like come up with your own like little, just like a little jingle of your song. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So
that would have been okay. It would have
been okay, but I was like, once again, it was
this
work.
This is an Ab Silvis original. It's abstract. You could just like ring, ring, ring.
Once again, it was work, and I was a lazy shit. So, but no, that was the only music program that Fatima actually had. But there were sports that I did play.
Looking back on it, and when you're in like 7th and 8th grade, you're a fucking dick. Like you're very selfish and self-centered. You don't think, and when I was in school, we had some athletic guys, and when we would play you guys in basketball or soccer, dude, I felt sorry.
I was gonna get into that.
I felt sorry for you guys because we would just murder you, and it was to the point where it wasn't even fun for us. Like, it was like, I know that sounds bad, but especially...
I don't blame you. It wasn't, guess what? It wasn't fun for us either, so...
Because it was to the point where it was like, oh my gosh, like, I feel awful for these kids. Like it's 11. Okay, I got a story. We're playing soccer, it's 11 to nothing. Like,
I got a story with that. Okay, so...
Like, stop shooting!
At MGM, I played soccer also, I played volleyball also, and I also played basketball for 2 years. The reason why I played all those sports,
right.
Not volleyball. Volleyball was enjoyable. I enjoyed volleyball.
I love volleyball. It was like fun.
Yeah, I played soccer first, and I played soccer because the coach was talking to my mother, was talking to me, or talking to my mother, my grandmother, talking to me, and he convinced me to join the team because he was like, "Dude, you've got almost a football build. that was like a polite way of saying you're fat. So he's like, dude, you've got almost a football build. So like, you could be really good in soccer playing defense.
Right.
And like, we need soccer players because, you know, there's not a lot of students in your classes. And I was like, I guess. Because here's the thing, I'd done the sports thing before. In Mercer, I played baseball for a season. And it sucked. I must have got hit in the head with that fucking ball more times than anybody. Because here's the thing, I crowded the plate, and I didn't know I was crowding the plate. No. It wasn't that way. It was, I was the guy. If you ever see like a baseball player who sticks their butt out and leans forward with the bat,
oh, yeah.
I was that guy because the coach tried to put me on the plate closer than I wanted to be, and that ball's fucking fast. That's a fast ball, and I've been hit in the head with that fucking ball before.
Beamed.
Yeah,
Take your base.
I was beamed in the arm, the leg, the hip, the fucking head. Like, I was beamed so many times that I'm like, I'm not, like, why would you put me in the firing line? Why would you put me in the firing, like there's a firing squad in front of me. Like, I'm not stupid. Don't do that shit. Like, I walked so much. It was
At least you got a
ridiculous.
base. You could have struck out every time. So hey.
But anyway, I did the sports thing, so I was hesitant about it. I was like, I guess, but like, I hate sports. So like, I was like, all right, I guess. So I played soccer, and then the basketball coach, cool fucking dude, fixed my car a couple times because he runs a garage. I think he might still do it, but he runs a garage. He used to run a garage. Fixed my car a couple times. Real nice guy, real cool dude, real good to me. Convinced me to join the basketball team because he's like, because at the time when I was in 7th grade, there were like 4 or 5 boys. 8th grade, as I said, there was like 2 or 3 boys. So there was not the makings of a great basketball team in numbers. So he was like, dude, you got to play basketball. We got to get some team. We got to get a varsity team. You got to play basketball. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Mind you, I maybe touched a basketball 3 times in my entire life at the time. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything, any kind of nonsense. I was better at defense than any kind of offense. That's like my life, defense. Defense is my life. So when you say you felt sorry for us, dude, I felt sorry for me. Because when we would go, first of all, when I played basketball, we never won a game. My entire 2 years of playing basketball, not once did we ever win a game.
And that's probably like a solid 12 games a year, right?
Yeah.
10, 12 games.
We come close a couple times. There was one time, I can't remember, St. Joe's.
St. Joe's, yeah, okay.
It might have been St. Joe's.
They weren't very good either, so it might have been them.
No, then it probably wasn't them. It was
a team that was
First of all, we only had 1 string my entire 2 years. Like a lot of other schools had 2 strings. They had their first string and their second string. So one time, it was later in the season, I think it might have been when I was in 7th grade, one of the schools came to our gym and we were playing a game. And when we were playing, we were doing surprisingly well against them. To the point where we weren't getting cocky, but we were getting confident. We're like, hey, we might be able to beat them. We might be able to win. We're playing them. We found out later that was their second string. When we started winning, they threw their first string in, fucking dominated us. Like, destroyed us. Like, it was insane. So,
sorry.
The thing is, like, even though we never won, I still kind of enjoyed the basketball games. I still kind of enjoyed the games because you're talking about a kid, myself, who, like, never had any positive, not much, like, public positive attention. So, like, when I play the games, like, there would be people, like, on the stands, like, at home games who came to see the game that were, like, cheering for us, despite the fact they knew we weren't going to fucking win. Like, we had cheerleaders, we had people cheering for us. Like, it was fun. I was like, this is really fucking cool. Like, this is pretty cool. We're going to lose, but that's cool.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed some of it.
Then that's all that matters, right?
I didn't enjoy... Here's the thing. Once again, little lazy fat shit. I didn't enjoy running up and down the court.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. But it was fairly enjoyable. Soccer, on the other hand, was all right. It was okay. A couple times I might have accidentally scored an own goal.
Oh.
Once or twice. Well, here's the thing. There was one time I remember we were playing on the Kennedy Field, and
that's where St. Joe's played.
Yeah. So we were playing a game, and I obviously on I played offense a couple times, but I was mainly defense. And I was going to block a ball. Somebody, like, lightly nudged the ball, so I was heading for the goal. and I went to go block it, not knowing the goalie was right there to catch it, and I knocked it out of the way of the goalie and into our goal. And I was like, I'm dead. I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm good. I'm good to go.
Ugh.
Yeah, so
I played defense too. I was pretty good at it, but we had a really good team. But like I said, there was like 4 teams that we would all rotate through playing, and the one team was St. Mike's out of Greenville. They were real good too, but we were pretty close to them. We tied them a few times, but our coach, I had the worst coach ever. Nicest guy in the world, but like really, really nice and like hardcore Christian. So he was like a play everybody the same type of coach.
yeah,
You gotta be fair. We're playing St. Mike's. They were out for motherfucking blood.
Yeah.
Like, they would have curb stomped us if they got the chance. So they leave their starters in the whole fucking time.
They were like Conan the Barbarian. Conan, what's good in life?
They just it was nuts. So like we'd be tied like late in the game, and they'd take our best player out to put in some retard. And it was like, why are you doing
Can you
this?
say that word now?
I stressed a different part of it, but
Oh, okay.
fair.
Fair. It's fair.
The 90s.
It's fair.
It was the 90s. Okay, so you could say it back then. I did not like how the game turned out, and I got a sour taste in my mouth because of that coach. But I enjoyed every minute of it. At the time, I was a punk kid. I thought I hated that school. Looking back on it, God, it was great. High school was the fucking pits, man.
I did
High
nothing
school,
in high school.
High school sucks.
Here's the thing, though. Like, high school for me was freshman through junior year, doing the normal, just go to class, do your thing, do your studies, do your homework, write your papers, do your thing. Senior year, though, that's where it was at. Like, I did yes, good shit. I did very, very little my senior year. I did my work, and I passed, obviously, but I did I might have told the story a few times, but like these stories, but like I slept so much in class because like I didn't sleep at night. Like I would like fall asleep like real late, so I'd only get like maybe like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I'd like go to class, like I'd go to like algebra class, and I'd be like knocked out. It was a regular thing whenever we went to theology class that I'd be sleeping. To the point where it's like it was just me, like that Adam the sleeper. Adam sleeps in class. Like I would be in theology. There was one time I was in theology, and Mrs. I'm gonna add that name. Mrs. Let me tell you. I would always knock myself out in class. I would have sit in the back next to my buddy, head down, sleeping. To the point where I was so knocked out that she was calling my name to the point where she had to yell my name to wake me up, and it was one of those things where like it made a scene where it's like I woke up, I drooled a little bit on my book.
What?
Like I got up, I had the entire class staring at me, and I was like, "What? What's going on? What are we doing?" Like, I slept in history, I slept in theology, I slept in algebra.
Why did you sleep at night?
Because I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep. Like, I would go to bed and I'd be tossing and turning all night. Like, I could not sleep at night. So, there was the principal, once again, add out the name, one time had to come wake me up in algebra. I fell asleep. And I woke up, and he woke me up, and the classroom was empty. Lights were off, and it was empty. It's like, oh, you're having a bad day. I was like, I guess so. So yeah, I was a bit of a slacker in high school. It wasn't until college whenever I like picked it up. I was like, oh, I should probably like study more and like actually do shit. But like it was real chill most of the time because like I had a buddy who worked on like the play sets. Like he would put shit together and like build sets and like do all that, and he was really good at it. And I would like use theology. He went there during theology class to do it, and I would just like go with him, and I would just like use theology class as an excuse to go help him, even though I just sat there and didn't do anything. So there was one time where my theology teacher name caught me one time whenever I was walking out of the gym, and she was walking past, and she saw me coming out and knew that I cut class to go do that, and she was like, she got like real pissed off, but like there was nothing that came of it. Did you ever cut class in high school? Like ever?
High school a lot. Yeah, I didn't.
Did you ever like leave school though and cut class?
Yeah, so now I hope this policy has changed because this is a bullshit policy. At my high school, and I went to the public high school in our town, and they had a policy where, first of all, it was like school started so fucking early. It started like 7:18, like something like 7:30 was when the bell
like
rang.
Like classes started?
Yeah, it was so fucking early, and I was always late. I was like you, I was tired. I was slow mover in the morning, and I was actually lived pretty far away from the school, and I had to drive myself there. They had these doors, and the way it worked was they were on a timer that when the late bell rang, the doors automatically locked.
I think we had those. I don't know if it was like automatic or like the front desk person would lock them, but yeah, we had those where like they would lock.
And the only door that was open was the door that went through the main office. And if you were late, you had to come through the main office, and they were standing there waiting for you. You had to sit down and wait, and they had to write you a tardy pass. And they had the 3 strikes rule. You had 2 times. The third time was a detention, and every time after that, you had a detention. So I was on like oh my god. I was probably on like a baker's dozen of being late, and I'd be hightailing it to school. I'd like whip into a parking lot. I'd like Tokyo drift into a parking lot. I'd like grabbing my books and putting my pencil in my ear. I'm running because all you have to do is make it through that door. If you make it through that door, you're golden. Half the fucking teachers didn't care if you walked into class late, but you had to get through that barrier before the bell rang. That was the key. That was the golden ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm like steps away from the door. I see the door. I'm reaching out for it. And what do I hear? Ring, ring, ring. Fuck. I stop dead in my tracks. I turn right the fuck around. I go right the hell to my car. And I drive home and don't come to school. That was like a lot. Because if you were late to school, you got into trouble. If you didn't come into school, you got in no trouble. Like, it was a bad policy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was a very bad policy.
Did you ever, like, leave school in the middle of the day, though? Like, just go? We could tell these stories, yeah. It's been years.
Yeah, oh. You know, no, I don't think I did, because once I was there, I was there. It's whatever. It was getting there that was the issue for me.
Twice I did it.
Twice?
One time, obviously, every school has senior skip day, where the seniors just don't fucking come to school, because that's just
senior skip day.
That's the way it is.
But that, again, that's a not come to school ever day.
Yeah, when I went to school, our seniors had like 5 senior skip days in the same month. So we had a senior skip day, we didn't go, and then like that week later on, we had another senior skip day. A few of us went, and a bunch of other people did not go. So me and my friends were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna leave." So third period, we all agreed. Third period, we're going to meet here, and we're just going to walk out. So we went to one of the back staircases where there's an exit. We walked out the door, ran to the fucking car, and left.
Where'd you go?
We went to Ohio. And I can't remember where in Ohio. We fucking went to Ohio, did some shit.
Like, did you drive to fucking Cincinnati? Or like,
no, it wasn't like that. But it was like Eastern Ohio. So we were just like doing some shit like, dumb shit. I don't know.
Did you go like Eastwood Mall?
No, we went to IHOP. I do remember that.
Oh, okay.
Went to IHOP and we were doing some shit. We were just like hanging out and doing some shit. And then, again, like the next week, we decided to do it like a second time. And so we just fucking left. Mm-hmm. And nobody said anything at all. Because we were seniors and the teachers didn't care. And they assumed we were slackers and we were never going to amount to anything in the world.
Right.
So
I have one story. So when I was probably in 9th or 10th grade, it was early on, we had a serial bomb threat caller in her.
No shit.
We had
one too.
We had like every couple months, sure fucking enough, there'd be a bomb threat called in. And I was in 9th grade, and it was like one of the first ones. The first ones in a series of people calling in bomb threats. So this bomb threat gets called in. And of course, there's chatter going on in school. Oh my gosh. And they would do something stupid like go to the bathroom stall and write it on the wall. like there's a bomb.
Yeah.
Like something stupid, like something retarded like that. There I am with that word again. I've been drinking wine. But
good wine. It's pretty good.
But anyway,
it's pretty good. Not bad.
I shouldn't use that word. I'm going to try not to. So, the bomb threat, I remember thinking, these people are stupid.
There's an alabaster retard.
There was actually... It's good wine. Good wine.
That's from the Mighty Boosh.
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
Compose.
So there was a bomb threat, and everybody's worried. There was like people in the hallway crying. Like girls were scared, people were scared, and I'm like, "Fuck, nothing's gonna fucking happen." So I remember I'm in gym class, and I'm just like hanging out there, and they come over the speaker. There's been a lot of talk today. It's like the superintendent or the principal or whatever. There's been a lot of talk today about a possible bomb threat, and there was some words written in a bathroom stall. So if anybody feels uncomfortable, you do have permission to leave today. I remember thinking to myself, fuck that. It ain't gonna be anything. Nothing wrong. So I'm in gym class. Well, I loved a gym class. Like dribbling a basketball, whatever. And I hear like the loud whistle like people do with their their pinkies in their mouth, like the that.
Yeah.
I look over my shoulder, and there's like one of my best friends standing at the door of the gym with his coat on, his book bag on, his hat on, he going with a shit-eating grin on his face, going. I'm like, fuck that. If he's leaving, I'm out of here too. So I didn't drive at the time. Like I said, I was in like 9th grade, so I had to like get together a ride. But that's the only time. That's the only time I left school.
My entire 4 years of high school, there was one bomb threat that I remember that being called, and it was called in. Like somebody called in and was like, "Hey, there's a bomb in the school." So
that's ballsy right there.
Yeah. So it might have been like 10th or 11th grade. They cleared the entire school and had us all go across a parking lot next to where like the football field was. There was like the field house, I guess what you would call it, where like the footballers like trained and stuff like that.
Right.
We basically all went to that area. Kind of, I think we all like went in. Honestly, like most.
Was it
of
like
us.
wintertime or?
I can't remember. It might have been wintertime. That's the reason why we all went in. But they brought the cops in. The cops searched the building. They had dogs and everything like that, sniffing out. And then after a half hour, they're like, "All right, everything's good." And we all went back. I was like, "Very efficient. It was very efficient of you guys to search for a half hour for a potential bomb. That was awesome."
At my school, there was like a serial bomb threat, like called in all the time. And after that first time it happened, like they kind of got a policy down, which where my high school was, literally next door, the building next to it was the police station.
Yeah.
So when the bomb threat would happen, what they would do, they would walk us out back and they would take us to the football stadium, and we would sit there in the football stadium until the police came over. They brought the dogs in. They did the same thing you said. They'd search for a little while. And I remember the one time it was fucking winter and it was cold. And we had to go back into the football stadium, which is outside, freeze our ass off while they're searching. It was bullshit. People would just get up and leave. Like, I'm leaving. It's too cold. Teacher tried to get them to stop. At that point, I left too. But then there was something. Somebody thought, I heard people say, that's a really bad idea. Now that they have this policy that we go to the football field, like, what if the person who was putting a bomb just put the bomb in the football field,
Yeah.
So the next time it happened, this is crazy, there was a bomb threat. So we evacuated the football field, the police came over. As we're walking up into the football field, it was written right there in the football field, boom, you're all dead.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the last time they caught the kid. After this time.
Did they catch him?
They caught him.
How did they catch people like that?
Well, when he went to the football field, see, he was always writing. He wasn't calling it in like your dude.
Yeah.
He was writing it on the bathroom stalls or the walls, and he was going to places where there weren't cameras. When he did that on the football field, there was cameras. So he got caught on camera. He was a kid that was actually on the hockey team with me in high school.
That sounds like a kid that would grow up to be somebody who's like when he gets stopped by a cop, he's like, "You don't have a right to search my car or do anything."
I'm not going to say the kid's name. He's dead now.
Really?
He died of a drug overdose like
Shit.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. He played hockey with me on the hockey team. And when this happened, the bomb threat, he got expelled. And he had to go to the local bad kids school that we all know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
When you were in sports in junior high, did you ever have a situation where, like, when you're playing basketball or you're playing soccer or something like that, where your team was doing particularly poor, and the coach came into the locker room and started yelling and screaming and slamming shit?
basketball, particularly basketball, yes. Because our basketball team was slightly different from yours. When I was in 6th grade, I didn't play basketball. I only played basketball in 8th grade. When I was in 6th grade, my school's basketball team lost in the state championship game. And they won the state championship game the year when I was in 9th grade, when I was in high school. They won the state championship. My team was really fucking good at basketball. And our coach was like a legendary coach. And he would fucking throw a basketball at your fucking head if you weren't doing well. And my 8th grade year, we were good, but we were definitely below standard from what they were used to.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't win our region. We tied for first place, and we had to have a playoff game to get into the playoffs, and we lost to this team, and it was it was bad. So yeah, our coach was very fucking intense.
It was
intense.
For us in basketball, it was very often where the coach would come in and like slam shit and like slam a door and like slam shit on the ground and stuff like that.
Why though? You guys lost every game.
That's the point. Like we were losing. We're practicing all the time. But we were losing. Like, here's the thing. Like, there were a couple people on our team. I'm not gonna name any names. I'm not gonna say they're bad people because they're not. They're not bad people. But they had the mentality of they were better than they thought they were, I guess is what I would say. Like, there was one person on our team who he was good. He was good. He handled the ball really well, but there was a lot of people on our team that wanted to be the star. They wanted to be the one to score all the baskets. And I was not one of those people, obviously. Like, in 7th grade, there were 6 people on our team total, and I was the spare. So, there were a lot of people, there were a good number of people that were like that. And they weren't playing, like, real fundamental basketball. They were playing, like, I want to be, like, star basketball player kind of mentality. Like, they played NBA Jam, and they were like, I want to be him.
They were playing street ball.
Basically, yeah.
They weren't playing team basketball.
Basically. And in fairness, like, to me, I didn't learn the plays. Like, he would give us the plays to, like, go home and study, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Because, you know, like I said, I was lazy shit. I didn't want to do it. So I was like, for example, I hated, like when you play defense, I hated player-to-player defense, whatever they call it, man-to-man. I was always all about zone defense.
Zone, yeah.
Here's why. Because I couldn't tell who was who. Because I didn't know the names. Like, I wasn't, like, unlike a lot of the people, I wasn't friends with I didn't know any of the people at the other schools. So whenever they were like, you've got, you know, blah, 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 so-and-so, and I'd be like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Numbers are on the back of the fucking shirt. They're facing me. I can't tell whose number that is. So, like, I can't watch my man. It was a weird thing for me. So, like, I played zone even when it was man-to-man, for the most part. And then if it was man-to-man and they were like, dude, we're playing man-to-man, not zone, I would look for the guy that didn't have a person on defense. I'd be like, that must be my guy right over there. I was a weird kid. So, interesting show is what I'm going to say. Interesting show. Very reminiscent.
It was very different.
Yeah, so a lot of reminiscing about the old days.
It was probably very boring for people just listening to the show.
Nah, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Here's why I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because podcasts are all about telling stories. Yeah. That's what podcasts usually are about. Like we're not a podcast that is specific to one thing. We're not a movie review podcast. We're not a politics podcast. We're a storytelling podcast. You just listen to an hour of us telling stories.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe people can relate. Maybe people can think about, when I was in 8th grade and I happened to go to my local Catholic school and I played basketball.
Not even Catholic school, any school.
Really? Yeah, true. Because I went to both Catholic and public.
So did I.
So did you, right. So we kind of know pros and cons to each of them. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I had fun. I had fun reminiscing. See, unlike you, I have the memory of a steel trap. Now, I'm not good with names. I always forget names, but I remember faces.
Yeah.
And I remember things that happened, situations, scenarios. That's why I'm pretty good at telling stories.
I'm pretty good at faces, terrible at names, and I do not have a steel trap. Shit just flows in and then is more than willing to flow out whenever it wants to.
That's okay.
So
I remember shit, and two of our good friends that have been on the show, Mike Deloney and Patrick Lackey, Patrick and I went to school in kindergarten together, all the way through 8th grade. Mike came in 1st grade. So, kindergarten and 1st grade through 8th grade, because then they went to Kennedy, the private high school like you, and I went to the public high school, but...
You ever regret that? Like, not going with your friends to the private, to Kennedy?
I do. I think about this a lot, and how differently things would have worked out. And see, and I'll talk about this briefly before we wrap up the show. My grandmother, who I loved very, very much, she has since passed away. She was very important to me. But now that I'm older and I look back on it, she was very manipulative at a young age. And she was, the local public high school that I went to was called Hickory. The town we live in, we're from, Hermitage, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Hermitage, Pennsylvania has 2 high schools, the public and the private. The public is called Hickory High School. The private is called Kennedy High
Hickory
School.
never made sense to me, but fair.
I went to Hickory, you went to Kennedy. We went to in the same town, but just you went to the private, I went to the public. High school. We're talking about high school now. And the reason why I went there was because my grandmother went there. She sent all 3 of her kids there. She sent her oldest grandkid there. And then it was my turn. My mom wanted me to go to Kennedy. But she, from a young age, was planting that seed, trying to tell me that I needed to go to Hickory. Because Hickory was the greatest. Guess what, Adam?
It wasn't.
It's not the greatest. No, it's not. But I had a bad attitude. I was a punk 8th grade kid. I didn't want to wear that fucking terrible uniform anymore. That was big. And at Kennedy, you don't wear a uniform, but you have a dress code. You know, you have to dress up. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to wear gym shorts and sweatpants to school. I didn't want to have to wear a tie. And I had a bad taste in my mouth. Like I said, I liked soccer, but I had a really bad coach. So I was fucking done with soccer. I wanted to play football. Even though I was slow and
Did you actually play football?
I played football for 4 years at Hickory.
Okay.
And I was lousy because I was so slow and so small. And I was going up against 350-pound high school kids that would murder me. But that's neither here nor there. That's a whole other story. So I went to the public high school, and I think about it, I'm like, man, I would have probably done so much better had I gone to the school where all my friends were, where my mom was a teacher in that district. I would have done better. But I would not do it differently, because it made me who I am. Like, I played hockey at Hickory, and I made one of my friends on the team, who I knew beforehand, but became very close with him. He got me my job at the skating rink, because we played hockey together. If I would have gone to Hickory, I would have still known him. I would have still been friends with him. But I never would have become super close with him enough for him to get me a job at the skating rink. Since I worked at the skating rink, I met my wife, Kristen, there. We're married and have 2 kids together and have our life. I met you there, Adam.
Yes.
If I hadn't gone to Hickory, this podcast would not be happening, because I probably would have never worked at the skating rink. So it's like space-time continuum thing. If you go back and change one tiny little thing, do it
Butterfly
differently.
effect.
Butterfly effect. It changes everything. And that's what would have happened had I not gone to Hickory.
That is an outlandish thought process right there.
Yeah.
Very outlandish.
So at times I think, you know what? I should have gone to Kennedy. I should have played soccer. I should have kept my head down and gone with the flow. But no, I had to go to Hickory and play football and sling my dick around like I was the big fish in the little pond, which I wasn't, but I thought I was. So
I mean, it's all about attitude.
It's all about attitude. And when you're that age, you don't know if you're fish or fowl.
So if you want to get a hold of For Your Distraction, you want to tell us what your school stories were. Do you want to?
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Tell us what you enjoyed about junior high, high school. Where you went to school, whatever. Email us fordistraction@gmail.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Search For Your Distraction @podcast FYD. We are on iTunes and SoundCloud. Search For Distraction. Rate us. Like us. Comment on us. Share us with your friends. The only way we grow is if you guys help us grow. We are also a member of the Be Real Podcasting Network. Head over to Podbean and search for the Movie Guys Podcast. There you can find the Movie Guys and For Distraction. That is our official, unofficial hub for the Be Real Network. If you guys know of or have a podcast that you're looking to join a network, you're looking to, get maybe a bit of a larger audience, you're looking to grow a little bit, you can email us or you can email the Movie Guys Podcast. We're always looking for new shows to join the family. We'd also like to thank our box of wine that we have sitting over here.
Oh, we didn't even do an intro. We just went right into it and talked for
we did.
hour and a half.
It was an hour. About an hour. Yeah,
still,
about an hour.
It feels like an hour and a half. Yeah, dude. We've been drinking
wine.
Boxed wine. We'll just leave it at that.
Box of wine.
Boxed wine. Sometimes boxed wine works.
Yeah, sometimes. It worked here.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
Man. If you could go back in time, not necessarily change anything, not make any big changes, but if you could put yourself right now, with the knowledge you have in your brain, into your we'll say 8th grade.
8th grade?
Your 8th grade body at Monsignor Gino Monti, what would you do? What would you just be a cynical asshole to all those asshole kids, or
I'd smoke weed every day.